What's up, everybody? This is the Book of X, and today is going to be the first in a two-part video whereby I highlight my most anticipated games that have been revealed that are coming to Xbox Game Pass. The first video focusing on first party and the second on third party. Now, I should caveat that this list of games is only going to be of games that we've actually seen revealed, so it's not going to be based on sort of potential games down the line, such as the Halo game or the Forza Horizon 6 and so on. No, this is games whereby we've actually seen trailers and we've got confirmation they are indeed coming out. So on the anticipated games for the first party release, first up I have Clockwork Revolution. So Clockwork Revolution is not just one of my most anticipated Xbox games, it's actually one of my most anticipated games period, because I'm a massive fan of the BioShock franchise, and the idea that Clockwork Revolution will become a successor in some ways to what everything I loved about BioShock, with a hint of Dishonored in there, is it sounds like a match made in heaven. So for those who are not aware, Clockwork Revolution is a steampunk-inspired first-person RPG developed by the studio called inXile Entertainment. When this game will be releasing is to be confirmed, though I do anticipate this might be early 2026, possibly around a February to April release. So some of the highlights you'll get to experience in this game is time manipulation, which is a central part of the game, whereby players will be able to wield a device called the chronometer, and it allows them to travel into the past, make choices, and return to the changed present to see how much of a ramification those changes had. Whether the ability to do this is completely sort of in your choice, or whether it's like an option of, if you change one thing you get either option A, B or C, or is it completely just crazy off the wall, is to be seen. But they've stated that there's a dynamic combat in the game that combines steampunk firearms with time-based mechanics, such as like freezing enemies or rewinding events and so on. Again, with that BioShock element to it. Alongside this is a deep RPG system, including your character creation, dialogue trees, and weapon customization. And as far as the story and the setting goes, it's very heavily inspired by sort of a Victorian era. So the city is called Avalon. It's a Victorian era city. Gives me sort of Columbia vibes from BioShock Infinite, but the entire sort of city is powered by steam and clockwork tech, where elites flaunt mechanical prosthetics and automatons serve the wealthy people of the city. And the antagonist of the game is a character called Lady Ironwood, who uses time travel to manipulate history in order for her own benefit to gain sort of power. But you play a character called Morgan Vanette, who is a rebel from the slums area of the city, who joins a gang called the Rotten Row Hooligans to challenge Ironwood's regime and attempt to rewrite history. So, fantastic premise on this game. Can't wait to see what it turns out to be like. So hopefully this comes in early 2026. So next up then we have Gears of War E-Day. Now, I'm a big fan of the Gears of War franchise, but I think we can all be in agreement that when we saw this trailer for E-Day at E3 last year, it was one of the best trailers on show, bringing us back to that era of early in the Xbox 360 generation, when we first saw that the first Gears of War trailer, sort of emitting emotion and a sort of feeling. So it was of course a surprise a reveal that came out last year. Now we all knew that there was a Gears of War game being made. Some thought it was a Gears of War collection, some thought it was a Gears of War 6. No one had it on it being a Gears of War prequel series. So this game is set on E-Day. So for those who aren't aware, it's an event that takes place 14 years before Gears of War and follows Marcus and Dom as they battle a Locust Horde on what is known as Emergence Day. There's no release date on this one yet. Some were saying sort of late 2025. That's off the cards now. If I was to take a guess, I would put Gears of War E-Day down to either maybe like a May or a September release, May or an August release next year. But yes, I mentioned about Emergence Day there. So the story overview is that it follows Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Santiago, the two war-hardened soldiers fresh off of the Pendulum Wars as they face an entirely new threat. So it's set in the city of Kelowna, which is a new location to the franchise, and the game explores the origin of their brotherhood and sort of how their friendship was forged through whatever they have to go through. The Locusts in this have been reimagined as those sort of scary monsters, and the bad idea, sort of brutal, towering, fearsome, especially the drones. And the idea behind this is that this is their first experience with the Locusts, so every threat they come across is completely new. It's not something they've had. They don't know how to tackle this enemy yet. So it also introduces the origin of the Chainsaw Lancer, which is sort of a signature weapon you experience in the series. So the game's tones is going to be exploring themes of vulnerability, grief, survival. There's going to be horror elements to the game, and the story is set over a period of multiple days, sort of seeing the toll it takes on them as they experience this Emergence Day event. So the game is being developed by the Coalition, the developers behind the sort of the Gears of War 4 and 5 franchise, along with People Can Fly using Unreal Engine 5. So can't wait for us to jump into this one when it drops in hopefully 2026. Next up then we have Fable. So Fable is one of my favourite gaming franchises out there, and I think we can all agree that the trailers we've been experiencing of Fable reboot are nothing short of phenomenal. So Fable was originally due to release in 2025, but has been pushed back to 2026. We don't have a specific date on this one yet, but Fable, as we all know, is a fantasy game set in the world of Albion, which is based on sort of a fantasy version of Britain. And what is evident from this game is that, as with the original Fable trilogy that used a lot of up-and-coming or experienced veteran British comedy actors, the new game is also leaning into that as well. We've just seen from what we've experienced so far with the vignette trailers, we've seen characters from shows such as The Peep Show, characters from the IT Crowd and so on. So it's very much leaning into that unique British humour. So it's the same third person view, but a lot more of a cinematic third person view in this game. And combat is what we come to expect, sort of melee weapons, magic spells, ranged attacks, and it's being powered by the Forza tech. Now Forza tech is one of the most beautiful engines out there. We all remember back to Forza Horizon 5 when people were debating whether what we were seeing was real or not. The answer turned out to be it was real. But this is the first mainline Fable we're actually going to get in, it will be, 16 years. So Fable 3 was back in 2010. There was a Fable Legends in development, but of course Lionhead was shut down. But I cannot wait to see what they bring to the table with this new Fable game, because I think it has the opportunity to be sort of a Game of the Year contender. And then finally, we have The Outer Worlds 2. So The Outer Worlds 2 is due out on October 29th, 2025. And what it's clear to us here is that Obsidian have just taken the base Outer Worlds 1 and making it better in every single possible way. The game had recently gone hands-on at Gamescom, and all you heard come out of it was positive impressions from this game. So in this game, you play as EDA, which is an Earth Directorate agent sent out to investigate rifts threatening the galaxy, and the city of the planet of Arcadia is torn between three factions: the Protectorate, the Anti-Choice, and the Order Ascendant. So each one with different sort of motives, beliefs, and so on. And your choices throughout the game then will shape the colony's fate, with towns changing hands or radio stations spinning your actions with propaganda and so on. Like the first game, whereby these choice-based mechanics, in this game it sounds like it could be a lot more heightened, whereby your choices have way more consequences. Gameplay, of course, is the same first-person RPG we come to expect, like think Fallout, but with more of a refined scope. But this time with expanded combat, exploration, and dialogue systems. There's new traits and flaws evolve based on your playstyle, and science weapons will be returning in this game, including a gun called the Shrink Ray, and new gear such as the Boast Blaster and pop-up guns. So There will be 6 companions available in this game. We had a recent trailer at Gamescom revealing those 6 companions along your journey. You can, of course, play on your own, whereby there's perks for playing on your own, but bringing these companions on, each of them comes with a different play style, different set of unique traits and so on. So these are my 4 most anticipated first party games coming out of Xbox, coming into Game Pass over hopefully the next sort of 18 months. So let me know if you're excited for any of these games. Is there any games that you're anticipating coming to Game Pass from first party that I haven't mentioned on this list? Do let me know in the comments. But otherwise, guys, I'll catch you all on the other side.